Fischer.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hang. It's Tuesday night. Here we are live in April. My God, it's April 13th. How did that happen? Welcome. Hopefully everybody's doing well and feeling good. And we don't have 2 days for taxes. They gave us an extra month. So, tax day is not, it's far away, but still, it's not the 15th. Welcome to the Hang. We're very happy you guys are here. We had 3 weeks off. And so welcome. And I'd like to say hello to my friend in beautiful LaGrange. It sounds very, very nice, LaGrange. And I'm sure it's a nice town, a suburb of Chicago, LaGrange. It sounds like a country club in LaGrange, Illinois. Stephen Wright. What's up, Stephen?
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Are you at the country club?
Yeah. That's exactly where I'm at.
With the bonsai tree and the yellow thing and turning orange?
Yeah. Got my fireplace back there.
Yeah, country club, baby.
Yeah.
All right. How you doing? Everything's cool, man. We're just, I can't believe it's just April 13th, man. How was your 3 weeks off?
Did we have it yet?
Didn't feel like it, man. We were busy. We mixed a couple tracks on the upcoming record, and working on some video. We were busy. We didn't have the feed, so that was one thing we didn't have to worry about. But it went quick, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Well, thanks for having us, keeping us together, buddy. I'm going to do a little house cleaning. It's a horrible word to say. I'm just going to do a little announcement first before we get too far, because it's very important to us and my family and my indirect family. I want to bring a little attention to a wonderful friend of ours who's in the Billy Joel family, Mark Snyder and his wife Sandra Snyder. Wonderful people. Mark has done a lot of jobs with Billy. He actually helps out Chainsaw now at the Garden with guitars, but he's done piano tech. He's just an all-around wonderful gentleman. His father-in-law, Mr. Ronald Nichols, I posted something on social media the other day. His father-in-law, Sandra's father, Ronald Nichols, went missing. So if you guys are in the Northeast Corridor, anywhere in Pennsylvania, keep an eye out. They found his dog the other day. One really wonderful family. And we just want to bring attention to it because, we need to keep an eye out. The last scene, he was around Brady's Lake, which is in the Pocono Mountains area. And, we love the Snyder family, and we wish nothing but prayers and safe returns. I think they found the dog today. He was out with his dog. I think they found his dog today. But if you know anybody in the area or in that area, please keep a lookout. And that's the information on Mr. Nichols. And we'll say a prayer. So hopefully everything works out. That being said, here we are again on a Tuesday. We were talking about having 3 weeks off. Wow. So we're back in the swing of things. We have a wonderful show tonight. We're excited about it. And actually, before we get a little farther, I got to thank you, Stephen. This is our 49th episode. We're coming on our 5th season, and tonight is the year anniversary. We've been doing this a freaking year. Yeah, holy macaroni, a year. What? Turn around. I got gray hair. I'm fatter than I was before. You got freaking bonsai trees that grew. Yeah. What the hell happened in a year? Jesus Christ.
It's funny. Time feels different now.
Time is standing still.
Yeah. Or in my case, sitting at this desk.
Yeah, you've been there for a year, buddy.
Yeah, 15 hours a day.
Oh, man. Yeah, 49 episodes in a year. We started this as just something to kind of do because we want to reach out to our friends and musicians and crew. And, just across the board, we're very fortunate. I think both of us, we have a lot of wonderful people in the industry that we love talking to, and the Billy family and Maynard Ferguson, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and Diana Ross. And then it's just kind of started as a party, and man, you guys are still here. Thank you for making us 49 episodes and almost 50 episodes in a year. It's pretty amazing. Thank you.
Yeah,
and thank you for Stephen. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I appreciate it. It's been like you said, it's been if I went back and looked, I know I sent it to you at the first couple episodes that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty it was interesting.
Well, we were flying by the seat of our pants, but
listen, we were learning this whole stuff. So
still learning it, but thanks to you, man, we're looking and feeling good. So thank you for supporting us, Stephen, and thank you for. I call you guys the Peanut Gallery, all the chime-ins, and that's our family. And I'm glad you guys stuck with us. And please, if you want us another season for season 5 here, please let us know. Because, man, I'm long-winded, but I'm starting to forget about things to talk about. I'm losing things to talk about. So, but tonight's going to be fun because we have a lot of people that are going to talk about wonderful things. Before I go further, though, also let's say a happy belated birthday to our Liz Monhan, who's she's our resident I'm going to say it, badass. One of our production managers, one of the production managers with the Billy Joel organization. We love you, Liz. If you're here, if you're not, we still love you anyway. I hope you're doing well. You and Andy are doing well, and happy belated birthday. So, let's see what else.
We actually had another birthday.
Oh yeah, what we have?
It's the 4th birthday of the CF horn.
Wow, 4 years, man. Well, I lost a year, like I said, with last year. So 4 years of selling that horn that we put together. Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's a little marker for us. So
Yeah,
figured
man,
it was
it's,
worth mentioning.
tonight's just all a bunch about birthdays and anniversaries. Very cool. All right.
Exactly.
So yeah, very happy to have that for 4 years now. It went quick. Oof.
Mhm.
Still play it, still love it, and we just sold one to Nathan Wilfor, right? Nathan Wilfor, wonderful trumpet player. He's 18 years old, and he plays more trumpet than 50-year-old guys. He just got one delivered in brushed silver. His horn's nicer than mine. What the hell, man?
I kind of
How'd that
thought
work?
that.
Oh, jeez. But anyway, thank you for that. And the other thing is, since we're on a 5th season, again, thank you for the viewers to being here. This season, we're talking about doing more of the same, having a lot of still some Billy people come on because that's our family. Some more Maynard Ferguson alumni, some Blood, Sweat, and Tears alumni, some great singers, some wonderful crew across the board. Hit us with some ideas if something you'd like to hear or see. We're coming up with some ideas what we're excited about this season. So
Yeah, and it's been really, really great. You guys leaving comments and stuff in YouTube, even on the off weeks. It was nice to see those. And actually, right before we started, I looked up a number, and we actually have over 155,000 views on the hang so far.
wow,
So it's pretty cool.
very amazing.
And as soon as I said that, my camera went away.
Yeah, it was funny. The connection went unstable, so we already have a gremlin.
Yep, and the lightning. Boom.
Well, in that case, we got to bring in the big guns.
Let's
we got to
bring
bring in.
them in. We're gonna
We got to
need all
bring
the
the
help.
guys. We got to bring the guns in to tell us how we get this right, because you and I are like, we try.
I know.
So
I already had people telling me my level was too low. So
Oh, you see? Okay. Well, tonight is the sound hang. We touched on it about 8-9 weeks ago. We had Brian Ruggles come on as just a kind of cameo guest, and we're going to do 2 episodes. This is going to be part 1, and part 2 will be next week. And this gentleman's been with Billy basically. I hate to say right from the beginning, but yeah, from the beginning. It's 50 years and counting. It's a long freaking time. And this guy's just not the front of house sound guy. He's more than that. I mean, if he was just to do front of house sound, that's a gig in itself. It's amazing. And, the sound, the best word I can use to describe it is he really cares about how to, how the band sounds as one, but also very independently. Everybody has their place in the band, and Brian can pull that out of it. So that's one of his many talents. I mean, he's just a wealth of knowledge. We touched on when he did his cameo, he's recommended, I can't tell you how many people in the organization being on stage and off the stage. That's him and Tommy Burns. He recommended Tommy. He found Tommy in Long Island. He's helped me out with this organization for 15 years that I've been here. He's Billy's right-hand man sonically, and just I can't say nothing bad about the guy. He keeps it together on and off the stage. He's our ears. We go to him when we think, when wondering if we're playing right, and he sets us straight in a very nice way. But his ears, nothing gets past this guy. And he's hired, like I said, a multitude of musicians and members in the organization. So anyway, I could go on about my love for him, but say hello to my friend and everybody's friend here, Mr. Brian Ruggles.
Hello, good evening.
What's happening,
How
man?
you doing, brother?
Oh, we're having it. Thanks for coming and making an official hang with us, bro.
Oh yeah, why not, man? I love this thing you're doing.
Yee. Oh,
It's a very
thanks.
cool thing you got going on.
Tuesday night, we have fun, We got have.
Congratulations. I mean, 49 shows. That's fabulous. I mean,
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're archived too, and that's what's amazing is Steven archives them and keeps them on YouTube. So,
Right.
like for instance, we had Crystal Telefaro on, I think on our first season, and people are still, hey, get Crystal. I'm like, she was already on. We're gonna have everybody back on again, but people don't realize that Tommy and Andy and a lot of guys have been on here, and you had a cameo I guess a couple months ago, so that was fun. But thanks for being here, brother.
Yeah, no, my pleasure, man. I love it. I love it. I think it's great, and it's a great little idea. I mean, just to have my sound boys for the next 2 weeks, next week.
The stories are gonna come, man.
That's my boys, man. I'm proud of my boys.
And I know you're proud of them, and they're proud to be working with you, man. It's whenever I talk to people, and this is one of the things I want to say prior to you comment, but I'll say it. I don't want to embarrass you too much, but whenever people ask me, "Oh, what's going on? Who does the sound?" They immediately think Clare Brothers, because you've employed Clare Brothers guys for years, but I just say BR. I just say the initials, and people they stop and their eyebrow goes up like, Brian? They know, the BR's initials, man. And they're like, "Oh, Brian." I'm like, "Yeah, come on. He's been there a long time." So, yeah, man, it's like, carry a big stick, my friend.
I don't even realize it, Carl. I'm just very lucky and grateful to be here. And I just enjoy what I do. It's my passion, man. I just love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the inner workings of it too is amazing to me. I can tell you always been passionate about it because all the backgrounds, whether it be vocals, horns, percussion, all that stuff. It's freaky. Like Billy will stop in the middle. "Hey, Brian, what do you think of that?" And when I first joined, I didn't really. I knew you, but I didn't know your ears were that in tune with everything. That's unusual, man. You have a passion.
You have to be. It's like. I don't want to say that I'm one of the musicians, but I hear everything that everybody plays.
Yeah, man.
And I know everybody's parts.
Yes.
And I just pay attention to it. It's a great thing.
Did you play a musical instrument when you were in grade school or sing?
Well,
or what did you do?
I started when I was really young. I took piano lessons.
Okay.
I hated it.
Yeah, me
so
too.
That lasted a year. And then, believe it or not, in elementary school, I played trumpet.
I remember you telling me that. That's why I love this story. Everybody
trumpet.
Wants to be a trumpet player. Come on, Brian.
And I used to cheat because the guy next to me was really good. Yeah. So I used to write next to each note which valve, if it was 1, 2, 1 and 3. I'd write it all down on the music sheet just to cheat. But then, later on in life, I was in bands in high school, and I played a little drums, and I like a lead singer and all that stuff. Yeah.
So you went through the whole thing: harmonic, wind, singing.
Yeah.
Enough to get
into music. Period. Yeah. I just love it.
Yeah, man.
With it. My father he turned me on to Ray Charles, believe it or not.
Wow.
He had a Ray Charles album, and I was like, "Wow, who's that?" And he would play music all the time. He was an incredible violinist, and he played guitar and banjo, but his violin, he used to play it at church all the time.
Really?
Like really, really good. Great violinist. Yeah.
Wow, man.
So I kind of grew up with music in my family or through my father, but
Sure.
it was very cool. It was an education in itself.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I always, I say this almost every week. I always learn, like we hang out, we spend a lot of time, but these questions, this is not normal questions we talk about. Hey, did your dad play? I knew you played a little trumpet, but I always learn some, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah. My dad was a really good musician. He was into it. Yeah,
cool.
God bless him. But yeah.
Awesome.
That's how that all begun,
Well, let's.
I was always the audio guy, with the bands and stuff, and I learned all that stuff on the fly, and you kind of grow up with the technology, because at the beginning, Duds would remember this, who's coming on in a minute.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was bass, treble, and volume.
Three knobs.
It wasn't all this. We have so many things right now. It's crazy. I don't know how to work half this stuff.
Stop. Well, actually, you know what? We'll bring Duds and Jay in, but before that, and we usually bring them in quick, so I'm sorry to hold you guys up, but man, we're here. We got to go. What was the bridge to get the bridge to make that gap between playing music and saying, okay, now I'm going to go mix it? Was it a tangible thing? Like, I want to go. How'd that happen?
That came from Billy.
Really?
Billy and I were hanging before he became a solo artist. You know, I met him when he was with the Hassles and so on and so forth, and I hadn't seen him in a while. And I ran into him one day coming back from the beach, and he had an apartment in Oyster Bay.
Okay.
He goes, "Hey, Brian, how you doing? Blah blah blah." He says, "Why don't you come over to my apartment? I want to play you some stuff I'm writing and recording, and you know."
Yeah.
So anyway, we'd get into it. I would start singing with him and harmonizing with him, and you know, this and everything. He goes, "Wow," he says, "you really have a great pitch, great ears."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. So eventually, you know, I could go on and on and on. But he says, "You should think about doing sound." He says, "You have really good ears, and you have great pitch and great time." He says, "You should get into that."
Wow.
Gig for you. And that's how I started. He pushed me into it. Not pushed, but gave me that little
nudge,
tap on the shoulder, and I went, "Huh, okay."
Yeah. You just pushed me off the ledge. I'm going.
Yeah, and then I got into it, and yeah, there you go. That's
beautiful.
Good.
Wow.
He got me started in it. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, you know, part of the part one of this is, you know, you and I talked a couple weeks ago, having somebody like Tom Duds Ford come on. He's been with you for 44 of those 50 years, so something like that.
Forever, yeah.
And he's had multiple gigs with you. I mean, crew. What's his gig now? I know he was crew chief, and he's done front of house. He's done 1 million gigs with different. What is he doing?
He's part of the whole crew of guys that he could do just about anything.
Yeah.
I've
seen him do everything.
Done it all, and he's.
I hear him chiming in.
He's
keep throwing me up, please.
He's a good man. He can just about do anything, and he really cares about his gig. He's a just a good man.
Billy was the second tour I did in 1978. I started with Fleetwood Mac in I think July of '78, and that ended, and I was kind of looking around. They go, "You can do Billy Joel." I go, "Really? Awesome." And remember we got rehearsed in Long Island, and
yeah.
That it was you know, I was impressed right away. Whoa, this guy can really sing, you know, and play. You know? And he got me. Billy was 29 at the time.
Wow. We kind of grew up together in the music.
Yes, 22 myself.
Well, welcome, Tom. Tom, like Brian said it best, you have a passion also, and you care about everything and everybody. So, you know, it's great to have the two gentlemen that have held the torch for this long. So welcome, man. I appreciate you coming and making time. It looks like you're in Pennsylvania, right? Where are you at?
Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's kind of where our Claire Global, the sound company, is based. The next town over, and
Lidditz, right?
Yeah, went to college here, and after college, there were 3 or 4 people from my college that wrestled, and I was a wrestler. That ended up getting jobs with Claire. I was kind of pushing to get in, and I wasn't sure. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. They called me up and said, "Can you get up to the airport tomorrow morning at 7 and do a Fleetwood Mac tour?"
Huh?
Really? I said, "Yeah, I'll figure a way." And I got a friend to take me up. They didn't tell me anything else.
Okay.
Grab a duffel bag and threw a sleeping bag in. I had no idea what I was supposed to do. You know?
A couple chips, some salt.
Got to LAX, walked outside. There's a bus that said Hollywood, and I'm like, "Well, that's where I'm going." So I popped on a city bus, and they dropped me off in Hollywood, and I went sleeping bag. But go down to the rehearsal hall, and by then I was kind of jet lagged, and I ended up falling asleep on this couch. And Jim Devaney, he's a Claire guy that was on the tour, comes over and goes, "It's not a good place to fall asleep. That's like Stevie's couch." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. So I'm like, "All right, I'm out of here.
Time to get off the couch."
But I got sent in. I knew nothing, you know.
Wow.
You know, didn't work in the shop one day, went right on the road. So.
Well, I'm going to interrupt. That's a wonderful story, man. Phew.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a book in itself. Let's we have a lot of the demographic of people here are, horn players, bricklayers, students. It's crazy. So I just want to bring in everybody because it took me a while. It took me about a year to figure this out. Clare Brothers is out of Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Say that 2 times quick. Lidditz. And it's now, Brian, it's a company that you actually started using back in the day. It's a sound company that you hired. That Jay and Duds and your crew works for.
Yeah. When Billy came out with the Stranger album, and then all of a sudden we went from going to from clubs and colleges and small theaters. All of a sudden we're in Madison Square Garden and all these arenas, and it was like, whoa. Now what do we do? So did you freeze? Anyway, yeah, I don't know why I picked Clare Brothers. I don't know the reason why, but anyway.
Looks like Carl's rejoining now. There you go.
Okay, there you go.
There
you go. So I'm trying to remember how I actually hired Clare Brothers to start with us, but that's how I met originally Dave Cobb, who came on.
Mike Stahl, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't start, when did you start with us, Duds?
It was a 52nd Street tour. It was September of 78. So
yeah.
43 years, right, Duds? I'm sorry.
That when we started doing arenas or?
Yeah, it was arenas. First show was in New Haven.
Okay.
And
I'm trying to remember how that all came about as far as getting Clare Brothers involved and everything else. Because at first, we just hired you guys.
Right.
And later on, believe it or not, I went to audio analyst for for a couple of years. Why, I don't know. I don't remember how that began. But then I had
that's a good guy.
Clare Brothers, and then I joined Clare Brothers in 1990 something, whatever, officially as an employee. And yeah, that's how it.
Yeah, we did a few other things together. We did that Rock in Rio.
Oh, we did a bunch of Rock in Rios. That first one was insane.
Yeah, I mean,
how many S4s were at that thing? Like 400?
Something like that. But yeah, that was an all-star lineup, man. There was an amazing band.
Oh, that's insane.
S4 is the cabinet, right? The big ass cabinet.
Yeah, the big S4s. They're 4 foot by 4 foot by like 18 inches deep.
Heavy as hell, right?
Oh, they're like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
And we had them stacked, and I mean, my God, it was the biggest stage. That first Rock in Rio. In that
massive.
Woo! Because the stage was on railroad tracks, and they had like I think 3 stages or whatever. One came up the middle, and one from side to side. I don't know. Anyway, that was huge. That was crazy. Yeah. And the bands that played, it was AC/DC, Yes,
Queen. James Taylor. There was all Rod Stewart.
All the biggest acts in the world were at that first Rock in Rio, and they played. A lot of them played twice because it went on for 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, man. All right, so
lived down in the front of the house.
Yeah, the tunnel.
I love this thing because you guys have so much history together, and so now we're gonna throw something totally different. So I'm at the bar like 8.5 years ago, and usually video was always, we have a video crew, and for a while we were spitting out a lot of video guys. The Clare guys, the sound guys, you always keep the same guys, but to the point where like the video guys, I would forget their names because I turn around. So I'm at the bar and I see this dude, he's got a hat and a couple tattoos, and we're having a couple drinks, and I think he's a video guy. And I'm not going to learn his name because he won't be here tomorrow. I'll forget about the guy. And he goes, "Hey, Carl," and realized, he was at, I think we were in Long Island, so maybe we were rehearsing or something. And so this gentleman, Mr. J, is he's been with the band 8 years and with you guys for 8 years. And man, he is, again, I've seen him do multitude of things. Obviously he is He can do front of house. He can do monitors. But for us, he does. I guess again, I'm so bad with names, but he basically takes care of anything that happens on that stage sonically on a monitor end. Would that be a fair assessment, BR?
Yeah, I mean, he helps. He does all the miking and the cabling and all. I mean, he's on top of the stage.
Yeah, man.
All over.
I'm the extension of BR and Josh on stage. They're stuck behind the desk. I'm their hands that can get out and
make it happen.
Pick up your pants and untangle your cables. And
it's a hard job, bro.
They can't run up there, So that's where I get to come play.
Do.
When Crystal's when Crystal's dropping her mic, I'm dropping my pants. Mark's slinging his water. Tommy's throwing a guitar. This guy's making it happen. So let's say hello to our friend Jay. And man, he's got a soul of old man, but he's a great cat. Welcome, bro.
Absolutely,
thank you.
And actually, I got to interrupt too because the reason I know front of house is I was out with Blood, Sweat, and Tears for a number of years, and we needed a monitor guy, and a couple times we needed a front of the house guy when our Smith couldn't do it. So I've seen him kind of morph into different things, and man, I love it. It's like what Brian with you and Billy. He just kind of he step up to the plate and he swings the bat and he hits the home run, bro. It's great.
Yeah, good.
So we're all here.
To have all these guys. I'm telling you, I'm very lucky.
That's beautiful. And Jay, you've been here 8 years, right? With
yes.
BR?
Yes. Started off with the Nassau Long Island rehearsals.
So it was Long Island. It was that bar, Cans. I remember. The place, Cans was a derivative of Hooters right near the hotel.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Was it really called Cans?
Yeah, it's called Cans, man.
It was.
Yeah. It was a nice. It was a nice. We go there and say prayer, right? We would say prayer.
Very, very nice.
Prayer service.
Very respectful. Very quiet.
Okay.
Oh man. All right. So let's go back on BR for a second. So you get the whole thing with Billy. He basically says, your ears are great. Let's go out. You're starting colleges. Now you're off colleges. You're working in bigger arenas now. You need a sound company. You call Claire. Claire is already established. You get all these great gentlemen. Obviously, Duds was one of the first guys. Duds, right on the crew, he's one of the first guys that you had back in the day in '78.
Absolutely, yeah.
Man, I'm just going to let you two talk. The stories you two have, forget about it.
Oh, God.
Brazil was one.
Dud's going to remember him. I can't.
I can tell you one story.
Go ahead.
I don't think I told you this story, but I don't know if Billy would remember this, but I was doing the Jackson's Victory Tour in 1984. And it was like huge because Thriller just come out.
Australia?
No, this was we were in New York.
Okay.
And I invited this girl to come down to the show from upstate. And I hear somebody yell Duds. I'm like, what the heck? And I look around and it's Billy hanging out of this cab. And he goes, come on, jump in. I'll take you to lunch. I'm like, really? And this girl was just mesmerized, but he took us down to Little Italy and it was on Mulberry Street, which Carl probably knows about. That's what Carl's. Yeah. But took us this place where I think Joey Gallo got shot or something, And
it was probably Il Cortile or something.
It was something down in that region, but
I know you used to like to go there. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that was quite the scene, but anyway. But there's another one.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah, you tell a few.
I got one about Duds. So we're doing I'm doing a tour with Guitaro. Okay, you know Guitaro? Did you ever hear?
Yeah, that Japanese
guy.
Yeah.
And it's a very interesting show and a very interesting human being. But he had this great band, and he had John Anderson from Yes singing lead because they did some Yes songs as well. But Guitaro would go off on his own little wild tangents of what would you call it? What kind of music was that?
Keyboard jams kind of thing, or?
Yeah, but it was more like a
Gothic.
No, not gothic. It's more meditative. And,
Okay.
you know,
Yanni kind of thing.
that, because he's Japanese. Anyway, so we're playing Radio City this one time, and Duds walks up to me at the front of the house. He goes, "VR, I don't get it." This guy's flying away, and he's doing all this weird shit, and Duds is like, "VR, I just don't get it."
Yeah, that's one I don't remember.
No, it's fun. It was funny though.
We were doing the songs in the attic. It was like a live album.
Yeah.
We had the softball team together. You know, the New York Crabs.
Crabs, right.
And I'd been playing softball the last couple summers in like a league, and that was kind of on top of my game. And we played Chicago. I think we were playing like WLS or something. And they must have said something over the radio because maybe like 5,000 people show up to this softball game.
Right, I remember
And
that.
I had a really good game. I think I went like 6 for 6 and whatever. And but afterwards, there must have been like 30 kids waiting for me to give them, like waiting for an autograph, you know? Lined up for me. I'm like, well, this has never happened before or since in my life. But yes, you may have my autograph. So. But I think we went undefeated too. I think we went 8-0. You know?
Oh, we did good. New York Crabs were good. Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is you couldn't get rid of your crabs, is what you're saying.
I think one radio station was called Quill or something that fought crap.
I'm telling you, that was fun. Were you on the tour that I did with Paul Simon when we had a softball team?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But,
Was that with Boomer? Was that with Boomer BR?
No, it wasn't with Boomer at that time. It was with Al. What's his last name? Oh, please.
Yeah, it'll come to you. Copacelli?
No. Oh, hell. Lizzie, text me the name.
She'll know.
She will know it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it'll come to you.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, you know, I gotta say, when I got the call to do Billy, it was something that I was totally humbled and blown away by getting the call. And I'm like, man, God, this is amazing. So I'm going to ask Jay, you got the call. I was fortunate, and I know you're fortunate. You were doing tours beforehand. And I remember talking to you, you did Backstreet Boys, and you did a lot of different things. So how did this prep? You were working for Claire, obviously. And how did this come about for you getting on the gig with Brian and Duds?
Oh, this was a little different though. It was New Kids on the Block.
I'm sorry. Oh man,
that's my claim to fame with the foot tall mohawk and all the ridiculous, which I should have kept.
Yeah, you had the. I'm sorry, bro. Backstreet.
No, it just
Philly.
For me, it lined up that I just happened to be coming off of one tour, and here you go. You're getting sent out for this one, and it was only supposed to be temporary. I started off just flying PA on the other side of the stage.
Okay.
And it was supposed to just be I was there and going to get sent to go do something else. And eventually the year goes around, and then I end up moving over and taking over for backing up Josh and taking over the stage. And it from there just haven't been gangbusters since. So I was very, very, lucky and just happened to just walk right in at the right time and stick with it. So
was that something that you physically, I mean, with the other tours that you were on, they were ending, or were they going back out? Is something that you want to say, okay, I want to sit on this tour once you've seen what kind of camaraderie there was?
Pretty absolutely. I mean, even coming off of what I was doing on other tours and then to come back out on this, it was like, okay, but then to realize the scheduling and the family vibe that comes around, it was like, no, there's no way you're going to want to leave this. It's too precious. So it's definitely it's special. It's definitely, yeah, exactly. They don't tour like this. So
I call it the country club core. It's like we're out 13 days a month. On a busy month, You know, right? We can go home. Duds can go to his
Well,
log cabin, and you can go to your nice kitchen. You know, I mean, you guys can hang out in your nice places and see your wives.
Well,
and
it, alleviated where you and I could go. We did those blood shows together where we got to go out and blood. So I was able to then do other gigs in between.
Sure.
Which kind of then allowed it to almost do more. It's instead of just being on one tour on a bus every other day. It's no, we have this one gig, but then I can go do 3-4 other gigs in the month and really spread out and to do other things, and definitely expand my my realm.
Your realm, and it's amazing too. You and I have talked about this on when we did bus tours or van tours. It's like you really, the Billy camp is special, but it really hits you home because we're riding we're flying in the day of a Blood, Sweat, and Tears show, taking a van 200 miles to the gig, setting up the gig, playing the gig, doing the same thing 3 days in a row. Meanwhile, we show up for a Billy gig and we're not worked that hard. You guys work hard. I'm not saying that you're not working hard. I mean, you guys are sweating, but it's just the camaraderie and the everything's thought about with our kids.
Yes.
We can't take it for granted when that's all you do is the Billy show. It's like, like reality sets in and like, let me go do, a little Diane Ross run, and you realize there's 15 people on a bus and there's only 13 bunks.
Exactly.
I'm like Duds going to the airport looking for a bus. So now, Duds, since you're home and you're in Pennsylvania, do you go to the shop in Clare? Do you work out of the shop? You do anything over there?
No, we've been pretty much closed with the COVID thing for most people. There's a skeleton crew there, but I actually got the COVID 3 weeks ago.
Oh, no kidding.
I didn't even realize I had it. My wife was
COVID.
Yeah, I didn't even know I had it.
Oh, Jesus.
But,
and he was
my
gone
wife
2 weeks later.
Susan was sniffling, and she had to fly the next day. She's a flight attendant, and I said, "You better go get tested." And she did, and it came back positive. I'm like, "Really?"
Oh, wow.
And I had no symptoms, and mine came back positive too. So,
well, you're just a positive cat, though. You're a positive guy.
Kind of lost a little smell. That's the only thing. The smell thing kind of went, but I hope you get it back.
Have you gotten any shots or anything? No.
Nah, I think I should soon, but.
Well, I don't know if you can yet.
Yeah, I'm not trying to figure that out.
Yeah, but that's a whole other.
I think you need to wait a month or something, but.
Yeah. Wow.
Nothing can stop Tom Ford. Not COVID, not the Swiss Guard.
No, Lizzie's gonna want documentation that
Yeah.
Where's
the papers? Oh, so cool.
Yeah, I want to tell my fun Dud story real quick though.
Please.
This was good.
Yeah,
this was during when the Pope played MSG.
Oh, yeah.
And we used the Billy audio for that because we played a couple nights later. And in fact, we had to move our show for that one. And we're in mass, everything's happening, the Pope's coming around in his golf cart. Next thing you know, we just look over and here comes Dudsy just walking right up the middle of the aisle, comes right up to the front of the house, and we're like, Duds, what are you doing? He goes, well, I thought I'd just come check it out. What's going on? We're in the middle of this thing. I go, nobody stopped you? Swiss Guard? No, I mean, we had to go through and get patted down, and it was worse than TSA. And it's just, Tom Ford just walked right in. Nothing's going to stop this guy.
He's a likable guy.
Yeah, ended up over in the Pope's catering somehow, and it was a nice spread.
He has all access to everything.
Yeah. Used to have that old pass.
That's a wonderful story. And that, I got to say, that garden, we were, like you said, they moved the garden show for Billy because the Pope was coming to town. So we were in town. We played, I think the next night, you guys kept the stage up, right?
We had to move some stuff around, but yeah, there was.
Yeah, you
we
moved
had to
it.
rearrange it.
So I was walking around town. I was trying to get close to the garden. I couldn't get near it. I was like, I'm not a holy guy, but it was kind of cool. The Pope's in New York. Let me go check it out. So finally, the Pope left in his Pope mobile. I walked right into the garden after he left. I walked right in. We were there already for a couple of years, so the security guard, I went right to freaking the stage, and there's the Pope's chair.
Ooh.
With the thing, and everybody's looking at it, all the local guys looking at it, and they're like, come on, Carl, you do it first. I'm like, what do you mean? I sat in the Pope's chair after he left. I sat there. Started taking pictures. Drew, everybody. We started sitting on the. I think you were there. It was
I watched you guys.
I got the freaking program, and it was the coolest thing. I just felt it was like a spiritual thing. I went home and brought it to my mother. I kind of probably had to do some Hail Marys because I sat in his chair, but I was like, that was the closest to the Pope I'd ever be.
Wow, that's cool.
I did the same.
Did you? Yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah, we were all kind of hanging out.
I got to document this. So.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, right? I feel holy.
I jumped in.
Yeah, Josh Weeble is in the chat selling you guys out for taking pictures in the chair.
The chair.
Sorry.
Built that chair.
I found that with that day, I was walking around for sound to listen to the room.
Okay.
We're just playing music back, and I found in this baggie one of the Cardinals.
Rosary beads?
No. They wear these. I don't know what they call them. It's like a scarf, only it's 3 inches wide, and they wear it around their neck. And it's got a cross on it, but it was on the back of the chair behind the stage, and I'm looking around. I went, okay, and I gave it to my mother.
Oh, beautiful! Oh, there it is.
And she's so religious, and she's a big time Catholic.
Yeah.
She was like, she was just blown away by it. She's
awesome.
Yeah, I think I gave Grizel my Pope pass. Yeah, I think he was into that. So I hope he still has it.
No, we needed it. I needed that book. Actually, Matt the cop, he came up and gave me a program and goes, you need this more than I do. And I went and gave it to my mom. So we all have our messed up, kind of hypochondriac, stealing ways. Here you go, Mom.
It's true.
Hey, man, we have all our friends here. Steven, we have some people saying hello to all the guys here.
Oh yeah, I've got a good hang going on in the chat. Got some questions coming in already.
Let's have it. Say hello.
I gotta hand it to two people that they even beat us to the hang tonight. Had Sydney and Kylie were in the hang 15 minutes before we were. So I have a feeling you know who they are, Brian.
Yeah, I do. Those are my daughters, and I love them dearly. And Sydney is a flute player, and she got a chance a few times to be on stage and play with Billy. She's Always a Woman to Me with Mark Rivera doing the harmony on the flute.
Beautiful,
yeah. Yeah, she did a great job. She's, they're great girls. I'm really proud of them. I'm really proud of my girls.
Yeah,
awesome.
You did a great job. And you know what? You instilled the best part. If you're not early, you're late. So that's why they were there 15 minutes early.
That's true, see?
Yeah, it's the truth. It's from the tour. I showed up the first day I showed up on tour. It's 8 o'clock, leave 8 a.m. I show up at 8 a.m. They're like, you're late. I'm like, it's 8 o'clock, right on the book. No, man, 15 minutes before. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, two beautiful girls, though. You did a good job.
Oh, they're gorgeous. I love them.
They're great. Hi, guys.
We'll give them the first question. We've got a two-parter. The first half is from Sydney, and the second half is from Kylie. It says, to all three of you guys, do you have a favorite arena or stadium to work at? And also is, let's see. Well, it's kind of the same question. So do you have a favorite arena or stadium to work at?
Whichever the last one we just loaded out of.
Probably, yeah, right. I mean, I would say the Garden right now because we're doing that Garden run, which is just unbelievable. And I love playing there, and it's just very exciting to do the shows there. But I mean, there are some great arenas around the country and the world that are, really good. They just blew up. They just imploded.
What?
The Palace in Detroit.
Really?
I heard that a couple of months ago. And I was surprised at that because it's not that old, and I like that place.
Yeah.
Where the Pistons play.
Right.
Or played.
I don't think you can beat Red Rocks in Colorado.
It's pretty
nice
good.
place.
In Denver.
Yeah,
that's amazing. You know.
Never played there with Billy though. Did you guys play there with Billy?
No.
Yeah, I played there with jazz acts with Maynard Ferguson. I loved it, but I would love to hear Billy in that place. Would that be possible?
Well,
anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible.
I think we're only
The
holding
problem with that place, though, Duds, in the technical stance, it goes so, the angle, the rake of the seats is so fierce that it's hard to cover the top.
Right.
You gotta hang the PA like that, you know, to the top of the. But it's a beautiful place. And the load in sucks.
Yeah, that's I was gonna agree. It's like, yeah, it's a beautiful, gorgeous place until you load in and out of it.
But other than that, it's a beautiful theater. Yeah.
Perfect. Oh man. What about you, Jay? The last place you loaded out of is your favorite place?
Yeah, you know, I mean, they've all got their own quirks and little, you know, fun attributes. Whether it is the load in, whether it's the view, where it's the city and the locals that are there, because every city's got its own little flavor of who's helping. And but no, I mean, New York's great because you come in and it puts itself together, and it's like a family reunion once a month. You know, we get to it's a real casual, it's a fun day. It's not it's more we're enjoying ourselves, getting to do our job and getting the spoils of it.
Bring it on! Can't wait. I miss you guys and everybody.
From a sound perspective, the Garden, they have a really good delay system in for the hard seats to hit. You know, so everybody's getting a pretty good show there.
It
does. You know,
sure that works.
It does. It does.
You know, I got to ask you, when I joined the band, they were just getting ready to redo the Garden. And I remember playing actually, with the old Garden. Did you guys notice the difference between the new and old Garden sonically? How did you have to, is there anything a little bit, nothing crazy?
A little bit, just a little bit.
Okay.
But a lot of people were complaining about the new Garden. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job. I don't know if it was $200 million good job, but it was a good job.
Well, no, I think it's great. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
You guys got it dialed in. You know, Rich is going to be here next week, and Rich works front of house, and I love is him and Rich, BR and Rich walk around with the iPads throughout every seat in the room, basically, to where he fell and busted his knee. Remember that years ago?
Yeah.
He fell and twisted his knee up but there's really, what's amazing with the technology now is you guys really ring out the room to where a lot of places sound like freaking record quality, which wasn't like that back in the day. Is that because of the technology, BR, and the way you guys are flying a PA?
The technology has a lot to do with it. I'm trying to think what else it would be. I mean, it's just that we have better equipment to work with, and we actually care about the way it sounds. Like you talk about walking a room, when we do stadiums all the time, I'll go to the nosebleed corner seat to make sure that person can hear exactly what's going on in the
amazing.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think any technology could improve that place in Germany, though.
Oh God! Please don't even go there.
Duds is here.
It's solid concrete every space building. The roof.
Oh, it's horrible. I don't care what you did in that place.
You know, it's funny you say that though, because like the Garden, Fenway, the places we play every year and obviously monthly, you know, the idiosyncrasies of those rooms and those stadiums to the point you've done them so many times, you know, that you're going to have certain things, you're going to have slapback and, you know, and I think each of you guys know, obviously the state of what's happening there. So I have to say a lot of it's technology is great, but the experience that you guys have as a whole and as an individual is amazing. You know?
You have to have the ear for it, the passion for it, just got to go for it every time. I know. I just I want it perfect every time.
Cool.
So,
Well, I'll tell you what, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken poop. And you guys have been, the band has been giving us,
that's right.
chicken cordon bleu every night to work.
Thank you for saying that. That was my next comment. I mean, we have
well done.
one of the best bands around. They're incredible, and I'm lucky to have the sound crew that I have as well, because everybody really cares and does a great job. Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, thank you.
Gotta say it. But
it's been a great run.
The band makes it, man. It's my job easy some nights, man.
This band can harmonize and sing and play, and it amazes me every night, especially when you guys do cover songs. It's like, because I've worked with most of these bands you do covers of. I'm like, they're doing this a lot better than the original band. I might have been with that band like a couple years ago.
I just want to do an album of sound checks, because sound checks are incredible.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's a fun show.
Yeah. It's funny because sometimes the sound checks are as long as the gig sometimes, and we don't know what the hell we're doing, and that's what Billy loves, and you guys feed on that. Everybody feeds on it. It's kind of funny, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes, man. I love it.
Yes, sir. Love it. Steven, how you doing? Yeah. So I answered the girls' questions, or
yeah, definitely.
Thanks, girls. We love you. We miss
thank you,
guys.
Girls.
Yeah.
What's your attenuation on your mic there, Carl?
Let me.
Once in a while, you get a little.
Let me fix that. Can you help me out? Am I getting crunchy?
It was just a little bit.
Can you help me out?
If you get too tight to it, it starts to distort. Sound guy thing. I'm sorry.
I know. I got you. No.
That's good.
What else we got, Steve-O?
All right, so this one's a little bit more technical, but it's from a student asking if you guys can talk a little bit about closed systems. So I'll paraphrase it, but basically, what was it like for you guys to go from the systems where the monitors used to be on the stage and everything used to be just live, as opposed to being in cabinets underneath the stage, behind the stage, and things like that? How did that change how you guys work?
Well, it's very interesting because there are a lot of people use in-ears, but the old timers, well, you're still a young man, Carl.
Thank you.
No, but like, say, Billy tried in-ears once.
I hated him.
For one song, and he's up on the piano and he goes, he's just cool.
Yeah.
He said, these things suck. He wants to hear the room. A lot of guys want to hear the room. They want to hear the live monitors. But getting back to the question, putting him underneath the stage was another issue because of the grates. We started using aluminum grates, and they were an issue. That was back when we first started hanging monitors underneath the stage.
Yep.
And then we went to fiberglass, and it warmed it up a little more, because with the aluminum, it was adding a ping to it. It was a little problematic.
Okay.
But the fiberglass made it a lot better. But it is a different thing. You have to, not being a guy on stage and listening to monitors, I can't tell you. All I know is, it works most of the time.
well, how does it affect the house? Because I know it's more segregated to where, you don't have, like, Tommy has his boxes behind him, and for a while, he was coming out those grates. I know his vocals are coming out. I know Andy's playing with ears and a shaker underneath the stage. So is Mike Del Judas. But how does that affect? And Rosenthal's cabinet in Hammond B3, Leslie cabinet in a cabinet. How does that affect the front of the house? More control. Would that be a safe assumption?
Yes, absolutely. The only one I have to watch out for is Tommy.
No, come on, Thomas.
Really?
No, he's like a jet engine. I go outside the stage. I have in-ears in, and I'm like, God damn, Tommy. I'm sterile.
You walk over to Tommy World, and it's like, wow. Okay, because he's got everything on 12.
Gotta love it though.
Yeah,
Quintessential rock player. I love it.
And it I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But I mean, having things isolated, like Tommy's actual guitar cabinets are in ISO boxes.
Yep.
And so is the Leslie cabinet for the Hammond. Andy is just direct.
Direct.
Yeah, right. Who else plays?
Mike Del Judas, he's direct.
Mike's ISO.
Judas is direct.
He's ISO'd?
He's in ears and
He's in ear,
ISO'd. He's ISO'd.
Mark has a monitor next to me. I hear Mark's vocals a
'cause
lot.
he
You don't
likes-
have a lot of sax though in it though.
No, he likes to hear the room. He's another
does.
one who likes the room.
He loves the room, right?
the old time
Yep.
type guy, and he loves to hear the room.
Crystal has ears for everything.
Crystal has ears. Chuck has ears. Chuck only, what they do is for like Andy on bass and Chuck on the drums, they have, what do they call that thing, guys? The
Shaker?
Thumpers. Yeah.
the bass
Thumper.
shaker.
Yeah, just a thumper, butt shaker.
Thumper that gives them that low end
Yeah.
Push.
Push.
in their hiney.
Oh.
But yeah, that's how they get that low end thing, and then they have ears as well. So, but I forget what the question was. But
Well,
yeah, a lot of the ISO, as much as I can ISO, is probably, it helps me out in the house. Yes.
Gotcha. And how's that miking for you guys, for Duds and Jay? Is that more of a pain in the ass because you have more stuff to kind of control, or is it just part of the gig?
No, it's part of the gig, but I mean, having, miking over wedges versus miking, with, having everything isolated. What's nice about having it isolated is it does, you don't have the return feedback potential. There's only so few things on the stage that can actually take off. Not to point fingers, but we can definitely point out to the house more often than sometimes.
Oh, way down.
It was going so well.
Don't start that now.
No, I mean, that's the plan. Take away the stage volume, and then the house can mix better, and and then we also have
Right.
more control with having it isolated to what's going into everybody's ears that
Sure.
you're hearing yourself.
Yeah.
I get it. No, I know.
And it's funny too, because Jay knows this very well. I always pop an ear because I love hearing, especially when the horns are out front on the stage. You can hear the house, and Mark told me that. He's like, man, just pop an ear and hear the house. It's like, it's a freaking record, man. When I get to a certain point on stage and I can get in front of this, the mains, or at least near the mains. And I always wondered, man, I mean, you guys, how does your typical day start? BR, you come in pretty early, BR, as a front of house guy. You're swinging the golf clubs with these guys, working hard. But I know Duds and Jay. What's your day start off time wise?
I come in around noon, 1. But
Okay.
these guys start at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Chalking out the points
Yep.
for where they're going to hang the PA and the lights and all that stuff. Yeah, in other words, they chalk out the floor so the riggers can see where to aim the chains and the
Motors.
points, and yeah. But just to explain what that means, but I come in later on just to get a feel, see what's going on, and then we listen to music, and then we start.
Steely Dan, a little Steely Dan action. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
These
we
guys
we have our schedule, so
Yeah. You guys
crack
work.
the trucks at 8 and work on getting power, and then move on to how we're going to load it out that night, and just lay every cable in reverse. And and then by the time BR comes in, we're usually ready to make noise and
Absolutely.
off and running.
Very cool. Very cool. And I always say when I hear Steely Dan, what I love is it's got great bottom end, but it's got horns. It's got wonderful, and I always hear you guys ringing the rooms out to that. I love that because I know we're getting close, and it's a great sound spectrum, and you're not listening. It's very consistent. When I hear that, I'm like, okay, it's getting close.
We use a couple of things because what's that other one?
What's the name of that? Rich loves that song. I can't remember the guy.
What's the guy's name?
Oh God, you give me staring at me.
All three.
Not Kevmo.
It's so funny. We haven't been on the road for over a year. We forgot everything already.
Who's on first?
Yeah, Kevmo plays a lot.
The Snoop Dogg.
No.
It'll get answered here in the chat in a second.
Yeah. It will. It'll come up.
Josh, what is it? Josh will tell us.
You're right.
And while we're thinking, we have Rich. We have Rich. We have Rich coming next week. Josh and Brian Darling. Am I leaving somebody out?
That's it.
Yeah.
No,
Rich,
that's
Brian, and Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. All right, Stephen, I'm sure there's a million questions. We went left to go right, but I love it. That's why we're here. What else we got, buddy?
Let's see. We got a David Kirshner saying, in the mid 80s when I was in high school outside Philly, I remember learning that Asia, Yes, and many of my favorite bands were camped out in Lidditz getting ready to tour. We were always fascinated by that. I'm guessing that's just in reference to the Clare brothers being from that area. Michael says, good to see the gang. Michael Clavana.
Hey, Mikey.
Hey, Mikey.
We got Mikey. Mikey's going to come on. Sorry.
No,
Mike.
Let's see.
Mike is David Rosenthal's tech, piano tech, and we're going to have him on, I believe. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to come on.
Yeah, he'll be on.
Hopefully. Hopefully you're doing good, Mike.
He used to play with Hall & Oates.
He's a great player, man. He plays some beautiful piano. Great teacher, too.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Good cat.
He's got a lot of stories.
Here's a little, I guess, a deep cut question, I guess. There's Rob Albert says there's a recording of Billy in 1974 from the Orpheum in Boston where he's ticked off about some crappy countryman pickups on his piano. I don't know. Basically he's just saying any recollections, but I don't know.
Well, in the old days when we had real pianos, and then older than that, we had rental pianos.
Oh, wow.
And we'd have to have them tuned, and we had what they called a helpet steel. It was like these piano pickups that would go across the harp inside the piano. Then we also had the Beyer pickup thing that we put on the harp itself, on the
board.
Yeah, on the inside
the
piano. And then we put microphones. We tried everything in the world to get the piano to sound like a piano, but also to get the volume up, because you have a rock band that's on stage, and this is before in-ears.
Yeah.
So everything's in monitors and everything's leaking through the piano. But you're trying to it's a fine balance of how you had to do it. But he was probably having a rough night that night. We probably all were having a rough night. And he just had the microphone to say it out loud. So that's the only thing I could say about that. Because I know there were problems sometimes.
That's better than Elton. Elton would have pushed the piano off the stage.
Oh, well, Billy flipped a piano in Russia.
Oh, yeah?
It was a CP80.
A CP80 Yamaha. It was Yamaha. You could get away with it. It probably worked when you picked it back up.
Oh no, it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it.
Yamaha's great that way.
Mad about something else, but we won't get into that.
I have a question that came up on my email today, and I'm sorry I forgot your name. I might remember it, but it was a wonderful question. I was going to answer it for him, but I'm going to throw it out because I know the answer. And we had Bobby Thrasher one night, and Max Luberry and Mike Rosell on a couple seasons ago, and the question came up. The question today was, what happened sonically and sound-wise I'm going to laugh, in Rome, in front of the Colosseum in the beginning, when we opened up for when Bryan Adams opened up, the stage was on a circular turntable, and Bryan Adams opened for us. And so I will just say, I'll lay the groundwork, and then Brian and Duds and Jay can go. We played the first tune, and we're playing the first tune, and this thing starts moving, and it shouldn't have. And all of a sudden, things happened. So someone hit a button, and the turntable moved, and Boomer actually said who hit it, but go ahead, Brian.
I don't know who hit it. I'm not putting the blame on anybody.
Well, Boomer did.
but
Teddy.
But they were supposed to shut it off, and they didn't, and it pulled out all the cables.
The snake was popping, man.
We had a little pause. An instant intermission, yeah. But it worked out. It was fun.
Worked out. Billy was great about it. And Boomer was grabbing the turns. Boomer's a big guy. If you guys haven't seen Boomer is a monster, strong dude. He was holding back for as long as he can. Holding back the turntable from spinning the stage, and finally it let go and started popping. And that was.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's what happened. The turntable moved. Hopefully
that's all I'm gonna say. And it
things
pulled
happen.
out some plugs. Pulled out some of the cables, whichever ones they were. Whatever. That's what happened.
Kind of along those same lines, Carl. We had a question from our hang president Noah, asking.
Noah, what's up?
Yeah, asking if you guys could talk about some of those type of instances where things went wrong, but you had to react and fix quickly. Do any things pop out in your mind as the biggest things you had to recover from?
Well, I remember one thing. The first thing that comes to mind was a long time ago. We were playing down at Miami University, I think. It was outdoors. And Billy comes on stage. He starts playing the song and starts to sing. No vocal.
Oof.
So you're going, beginning of your show. So here I'm charging up to the stage, and I'm, I don't know exactly what happened. Something got unplugged or unpatched to the mic. I don't know. Because those things happen all the time, because that's why you have to watch when you're miking up or when you're plugging in the mics. A lot of times you have to either tape it up or do something so it doesn't become unplugged by somebody grabbing a mic or something like that, But I don't know. You got anything? Oh, well, I got something on you, but nobody would get that. So I don't know.
Not on Billy, on other tours, but can't think of anything off.
Stuff happens all the time.
Oh yeah,
it's live, man.
I was doing a U2 tour, and this console kind of died right before the show, and that's nerve-wracking, but
front of house Duds or our monitor console?
That was the monitor console at the time, but
oh Lord, wow.
Yeah, the guy was pretty technical and got it, we got it back up and running, and show went on 5 minutes late, but that was it.
5 minutes late. Jay, I gotta say, Jay can answer this because, well, both Jay, BR, and Duds can all say this, but I'm always getting tangled up in freaking mic cables and ear packs, and he's always untangling me. But I remember specifically, I went out front to do, I think it was a Zanzibar or Mulberry, I don't know what it was, and my mic wasn't on. I had it off, and somehow I hit it off, and I remember just going over, I think it was Del Judas's mic, 58 hanging, and man, it sounded great. And I remember at the end of the gig, you said, just play it. I'm going to get you. I'm going to follow you around the stage.
Follow you around.
I love it.
Wherever you go, I can get you.
Just find a mic.
And that's the best part of any freaking crew that you can ever have is they make us sound and look so freaking good. I am tangled. I can't walk. I have things off. I have things on. Tommy has things off down. We all have our little idiosyncrasies of things. And you guys just make it seamless to the point. You guys are the heroes. We're just like, we're the schlocks, man. It's hysterical. Billy even too, he's got the Does he still got the volume control on his monitor?
Yeah.
That's hysterical, man. Sometimes I see him tweaking it, and he'll be looking around like, Wayne will come out or Jay will come out and fix it, and like we all have our things. It's sure there's some stories, but thank you guys.
But, it's live audio. It's live show. Anything can happen. Audio goes out, lights go out, things happen.
That's why it's live, baby.
We had another question. So when stuff like that happens, and Duds, you mentioned like a board completely going dead, what kind of disaster recovery do you guys have to put in place? I mean, do you guys have duplicates of everything? I mean, for example, one person asked, if a board goes down, do you guys just have another board ready to go, or how do you guys do that?
Some tours do, not our tour, but I mean, we have contingency plans and thoughts, and yeah, we could get away with it if we needed to, but it would be a hell of a day.
The digital boards just came out.
Time to get a drink.
Yeah, having spares of everything, no, that wouldn't work out, being ineffective.
Well, what they do now as a fail-safe with a lot of these digital consoles is it'll still pass audio, but you can't mix it. Wow. It just has it going straight through. So you can hear, but you can't mix.
Oh, wow.
And then it's, then I think we have to reset the boards or do whatever. I don't know, just take a break. I don't know.
Yeah, things have gotten a lot more.
I don't even want to talk about that. I'm knocking on wood right now. Oh my God.
Hey, one of the questions I'm going to ask is, you talked about intermissions. I know since I've been on a band, we never did an intermission. Back in the day, did you, BR and Dunce, did you guys do intermissions with Billy? Did that ever happen?
We tried it. Didn't we try it, Duds?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember trying it. And what happened was, it's hard you're all wound up and going and warmed up and playing. And okay, we'll be back in 15 minutes. And it's like, and that includes the band, everybody.
Everything.
It's like, to get back into that state.
Yep.
It takes a lot. So
it didn't last long.
Bad idea. No, it never worked out.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious.
It was an experiment.
Got it.
Yes. Some bands do it.
Yeah.
They set their sound, their musical set around it. But I know what you mean. It kind of doesn't have an organic feel. Billy, because of front of house and Steve Cohen really have a nice rhythm to it. Yeah.
Rolling it and you're rocking and everything is great, and then to stop and to restart.
Nah.
And then you got to get everybody back in their seats because they got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, everybody's getting a drink in the bathroom. The band's cooled down. There's a lot of negatives about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting. What else we got, Steve-O?
We have our buddy Teddy asking a question here.
Wait. Let's go back.
Teddy who?
Yeah, Thrasher or Baloo?
No, Teddy Baloo. Yep.
This is so it's not Thrasher. Teddy is actually, is it? I'm just having a senior moment. What's the name of the show?
The Songs from the Attic.
I'm sorry, Teddy. Teddy's Songs from the Attic, which is a webcast and a radio show every Sunday. He's also a great golfer, and he is a great jazz drummer. Him and Melissa are great, and they hang out with Andy Shashan and have a wonderful show. And he's a big fan of the band and the crew, and he's a great dude. So I had to give the preface because we love Teddy.
Yeah.
And he has a nice shirt collection, by the way. You son of a bitch.
Teddy's actually asking if any of you guys have ever done a front of house masterclass or thought about doing it.
BR.
Yeah, I've never done one. I'm not really good at I don't like to do interviews. I don't like to speak in front of people. I'm very shy in that regard.
Yeah.
I've been asked by what's that school down here in Florida?
Full Sail
Sail.
in Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy who runs that, he asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yeah.
Yeah.
But you know,
it's not your comfort zone, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not.
All right.
I'm not into it because there's a lot of technical things that come up that are very deep, and I'll admit it, I don't really know. And
but you know how it sounds, and you can make it. I'm the
by
same way
ear.
musically, though, Bri. Not that if you were to say, "Hey, it's a 2/5 and B flat, and it's got to be this way,"
right?
I'd be like, "Okay, I might be able to get there, but I will show you how it sounds." And you and I are very organic that way. I noticed.
Exactly.
So that's your trepidation, I think, right? Because that's my trepidation too.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to do my job. I want to enjoy what I do, and I really enjoy what I do, and that's it. I want to leave it at that. As far as teaching somebody or showing somebody, you can't really show anybody what you do. It's all feel. It's all ear. It's all you can't explain it. I don't know what I do half the time. I mean, I'm just doing it by what I'm hearing. And
wow,
that's pretty much what it is. It's I mean, I can work the board and do all the stuff and the effects and all that junk.
Yeah.
But I can't explain it. It's a feel thing. It's like when you play the trumpet, it's a feel.
I understand you, but you're also being very modest because it's not just the Billy Joel camp. I mean, Enrique Iglesias, Saturday Night Live, a million different acts you've mixed for. And my guess is like when I studied with old jazz and blues guys, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to show you how to do it, but hang with me. I'm sure Jay and Dutch, they hang with you and they get more out of the hang indirectly because they see what you're doing. That's a class in itself. I've hung with you. I've come out on tunes where I don't play, and I watch you, and we laugh. I laugh at you, and you laugh at me, and I see you do your thing, and it's like you're in the moment. It's like you're like a jazz guy or a great guitar solo. You're like, and you make it happen, and it's like, holy shit, he just did that. It's coming out of nowhere. But yeah, it's hard to explain, but you can. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's the same analogy.
Yeah, it is hard to explain. I don't know.
Well, you're doing a good job tonight, bro. I'm just
I appreciate it.
Maybe we should all be an act. We should go on the road and do clinics. Get your shot.
I try.
Jay, as a young guy, I mean, you've been under the tutelage by hanging with BR. Maybe.
Well, even my first year when I was hanging PA and it was done with that before I was working for Josh, I'd go kick out the front of house and I was following along, paying attention, just looking over his shoulder, seeing what he was doing, listening to how it was happening. He's in his zone, but I'm just, listening. I do the same with Josh now on the stage. Yep. And then when I get behind a desk, I go, okay, well, I saw them. Let's see what it does. Maybe that works. Maybe it doesn't. And it's even, everybody's got their own little way that they make their cake. And it's just, but you can learn a few tricks, or sometimes it's learn what not to do. You go, oh, I saw how that didn't work, so I am not going to go down that road or make that mistake.
There it is.
That's not a dig on BR.
No. That's a great explanation. I like that.
You're a sponge.
Guys do that. They just kind of hang out and they watch me.
Yep.
But I don't tell them anything, or I don't talk to anybody, and they just like to see what I'm doing.
Well, the first couple of years that I took over the stage, you would come up and before we started sound check, and you'd give a once over and just put the mics in, just because that's where you want them. And then of course I come back and learn where you have them. Eventually you stopped coming on stage.
Right.
We did another gig, Mellencamp for Farmate a few years ago, where it was just, not having communications with you, but knowing your vibe and how you like to do things. Mm-hmm. It was easy to go in and just set that stage up going, I know how he's going to like this. This is going to be fine. But it's just being around and kind of absorbing that bit of this is how BR vibes. I've learned it with Smick and Blood, Sweat and Tears and how he likes it. And it's just, that's what you learn and that's what you do. And
that's true. And that's fun. That was a fun band to mix too. Mellencamp's band.
Yeah.
That's a rocking band.
Oof.
Yeah, what other bands have you mixed through the years, BR?
Oh,
Didn't you do Heart maybe? And,
I did Heart. I did Fleetwood Mac in Europe with Jim Deviney.
Oh,
And
okay.
I did, I mean, I've done Stevie Nicks tours. I did a Stevie Don Henley tour once. They were both co-billing, and I mixed both of them. Don and Stevie at the same time, at different times, but both shows on the same show. If that makes sense. I don't know what I just said, but anyway, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And mixing Don was fun. Stevie was fun. Hart was fun.
Enrique?
Was fun for me. I don't know. There's a lot of bands I've mixed throughout the years. Yeah. I got a list, but I can't remember.
I'm going to bring up, he's usually here. He might be here. He might not. I'm going to bring up a name that BR and I have a kinship with. We love the guy. When you were with Iglesias, Clay Perry, he comes and hangs with us. Remember Clay, the piano player, BR?
Yeah. Clay's great.
Yeah, and I know you mixed them with Mike Scaglione on bass and saxophone, and they loved having you, and all the SNL
all those guys. Yeah, SNL was fun too. Working with Jay Vicari
and even on Broadway, you helped out on Broadway too when Billy had his moving out show. I know you came in a few times.
I was the sound designer for that show.
Which was a great sounding show in Richard Rogers Theater. That was a great sounding show, bro.
It was a great show. Yeah, it was fun. That was something different,
Yeah.
Something way different than what I'm used to. Yeah. That was left field, man.
Yeah, you made it sound great, though. It was.
But there was a lot of. I've been very lucky with all the different things I've done in my lifetime, and what can I say? I'm just grateful and very lucky.
Very humble, very cool.
Yeah.
What else we got? And then, I know I don't want to kill these guys. Cinderella comes soon. What's that?
Oh, I got to take a walk for a minute.
All right, go for a walk. Go walk the puppy.
All right, I got a good one.
Yeah,
I got a good one because you guys have mentioned Blood, Sweat, and Tears a couple times.
Yes.
So we have Mike Freeland is here hanging with us, saying hello.
Mike,
So Mike is here.
So I'll give everybody Jay and I know who he is, but I'll give everybody a preface. So Blood, Sweat, and Tears, I was fortunate to play in the band and being an MD, and we had the wonderful Harold Smick III. He was doing front of house and the production manager and tour manager of the band. Jay came in with me as a monitor engineer and is in and out of the organization still. And then Mike Freeland, when our friend Smick, who should be here, Smick retired, Mike Freeland got the gig. Mike Freeland, I was on the road with Maynard Ferguson with. Mike did front of house and monitors for Maynard Ferguson. So he's part of the family. Jay's part of the family. Duds is in the family. Brian's in the family. Steve's in the family. We're all in the family. Mike's here. So that's who Mike is. And what's up, Mikey?
So along the lines of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, had a question for Jay asking if you approach the Billy gig different than the Blood, Sweat, and Tears gig, and what are some of those things that you have to think differently about?
We're not stopping the microphone.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a few less things. I guess I don't know if the approach is any different because it's different as opposed to watching the stages and then being the engineer and having to, it's a smaller gig. We were doing more de jour, smaller venues. So my desk was always changing on a regular basis. So it was having to just learn and kind of jump through those hoops. It was always, and unlike Billy, where we have the same gear every show, every time, for Blood, Sweat, and Tears, it was the band brought in their own instruments. We rented a couple keyboards and a bass amp and some guitar cabs, and off we went. No. And so that was a little bit more of it. You had a different approach to how the day was going to go. You had to see A, if the gear showed up, B, then how does it sound, what condition it's in versus where we've got 9 trucks. Yeah, you got to see if it works. Got to see if it's been updated and start that update if it needs to. as opposed to having 9.5 trucks of the same gear, you know, and just knowing that it's going to come out the door and it's going to still be there. Although, now that being said, it'll be fun to see what our gear looks like after a year of being in Mexico.
I have my horns. My chainsaw gave me my horns about 2 months ago. They're on the bottom of my stairs. I'm afraid to open the case because a worm or a mouse might come out. I'm afraid to open them, man. I don't know what's going to happen.
There might be some tacos in there or something.
I hope not. Maybe a burrito in your Speedo.
That'll be for part 2 of the sound.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned Harold Smick. Smick is in fact hanging out with us in the chat. So,
all right.
Mickey.
Yep.
Smick is he got the gold watch. He did 30-something years, right, Jay, with BS&T?
Yeah.
As a manager in front of house and a wrangler of musicians. You know, and I also have to say, when I love Brian Ruggles, but Brian's living in Florida, which that's where I'm at now, between Florida and New York. But I have this small little band called T.Ë.T.I, and Jay has graced me, and Smick has come out and run front of house and monitors. And it's the same thing. It's like whatever shows up, they make happen. Like Billy old school, right, Jay? It's like whatever's there, let's just kind of make it happen. So I appreciate that.
We're gonna have something's gonna happen, a show or something. We'll do something by the end of the night. So.
A taco, right?
Yeah.
And I can attest to the fact that Jay doesn't just take care of the sound; he also takes care of band members that are passing out in the hallway. Oh man, I got so sick, and Jay's right there.
He had the tequila worm.
Yeah.
Steven drank the tequila worm on that.
Steven got the worm that night.
Oh, I was doing COVID. Okay. I was doing COVID before it was cool. So along those same lines with Blood, Sweat, and Tears, we had a couple questions, and Jay, maybe you can take this one first. But do you guys, Robert Van Wyck, I think is how you pronounce the last name, is asking if you guys have preferences for microphones for use on sax and trumpet, or just horn section in general.
I mean, give me a good old 98, clip it on there, and call it a day. But what's the ones you got in there, Carl? Those were the fun ones, those ATMs.
Yeah, AMT is Applied Microphone Technologies.
Yeah,
I play the 800, and Mark plays the sax one. And I know BR, we had the 98s for years, which is sure. And a friend of mine, organ player in my band, Ron Oswatsky, and his buddy developed these Applied Microphone Technologies.
Yeah.
Instrument. And Brian, and I think everybody digs them, right? I mean, you guys like them?
Oh, I love them. I think.
Yeah, I absolutely love the sound of those. Yeah.
But I mean, I'd love, the reason we probably used the 98s at one point was because you can go wireless with it. But I'd rather have a nice warm mic, like a 421 or a.
Yeah, if you're gonna make them sit there, yeah, absolutely.
Or something,
exactly. Yeah. Something warm and the old school stuff.
Yeah, old Neumann.
I love the way what is it called? The
AMT.
AMT.
Yeah, which are wireless now. Yeah, no, it's all right. And so
they sound great. They sound amazing. Yeah.
Along that question too, since we're talking about saxophone, trumpet, and trombone. Mark sounds amazing on the microphone. And what I noticed too is when I changed horns, like 4 years ago, I went from Yamaha to this new CF horn. Both you guys, Duds, I don't know if you were on that tour or maybe, but I remember you guys saying, whoa, I remember you saying, what are you doing differently? But I said, I think I'm playing a different horn. And you guys gave me notes. I remember I would write notes. You tell me, well, it's a little bright here. And I would try to curtail the horn to what you heard in front of the house. Cause I know you heard me in the same place all the time and, basically on the same tune. So you were,
there was that time when you were trying out, you were building a horn.
That's the CF horn. Yeah.
And you were trying different shapes and bells and and blah blah blah, and you were asking my opinion about it.
Yours were
very, which I love the fact that you were asking me about it, but I could tell the difference. If it was brighter or warmer or this or that. But
No, it's great because I mean, if anybody knows my sound, and what's amazing to me, it's across the board. It's not just one. Billy, like the EQ on Billy's voice, obviously, and his piano. Every nuance of things, you guys have a spectrum of sound in your head, and so when it's different, you guys notice it immediately, and that's the freaky part. Mark will play a different. Mark and I joke. He'll play a different mouthpiece or a reed. He goes, "What do you think?" I won't say anything. And I'm like, different ring? He goes, yeah. And then you'll come on at sound check. Hey, the horn's a little bit sloppy and it's not really loud. And it's like, Mark's like, son of a bitch. Eagle ears got it. And Jay's looking at it like, hey, you playing hard today? I'm like, no, I'm not. It's a loner horn. I busted the good one.
Slacking today.
I can't get away with nothing with you guys.
I love it. That's okay.
Yeah, no,
it's
good.
Test.
It's the ultimate test. That's why it's passed the test. Duds, have you seen, in your time with not just Billy, but with the technology of today, is it still come down to just simple sonic presence, and it's just come down to ears as far as?
Yeah, I mean, technology has really advanced, and it's especially the wireless stuff, and it's probably going to get tougher with a lot of these frequencies getting, other Qualcomms and the Verizons are buying up the frequencies, and it's a lot tougher there. But the newer line arrays definitely are improvement over the old technology. That was a big jump, but a lot of it is, the input is so important. If it's a band that can really play, it's, you can do well on a, maybe an inferior system, but anyway, it's best to have the best.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he's talking about, when you're talking about wireless and different companies and stuff like this, I always wondered, you have all these companies, especially in New York City, have wireless running through, and I've heard interference in my ears. It was just wireless back. So during that day, you guys are scanning different signals. Is it getting easier or harder? Is there less signals or more signals? How does that work?
There's less signals all the way across, and it's happening everywhere. So you are, but at least with the technology, you're able to fine tune and you can pinpoint and get the frequencies for where you are. But it's a lot harder than you used to be able, you could just go in and scan a pack and hope to get something and you were off and running. But now with them buying up the certain frequencies in all the bands, that everyone's sitting on top of each other. So
what time wise, Jay, what is that taking you guys to kind of sort out at the Garden, for say?
Well, luckily at the Garden, Josh has got the same, he's kind of recalling the same frequencies that he uses every time, does a quick double check. Now, if we go out to somewhere else that we know where frequencies are going to be bad, or it's just somewhere new, he's doing an advanced check the night before. He's coming in, and that's one of the first things he's starting his day with, because that ultimately, and he'll spend a good couple of hours making sure it's right. And when we do stadium shows, that's a 2-day load in. So he'll check the day before and check the day of and check, and we're watching it the whole time. Because the best fun on it is always when you do your scan in the morning, everything's set up, you think you're good to go, show opens, everyone turns on their radios, you look over and go, I got nothing. Now you're scrambling,
I hear the tower, the little Piper coming in and gonna land on the runway.
Yep, exactly.
No, it's crazy. Wow.
Go back to mic cords.
yeah, mic cord. Right?
That's always, my favorite way to do it sometimes. Just put them on a leash, and at least we know we'll get it.
Old school, new school. That's it. Cool, guys. Anything else that we want to hit? I'm sure there's a few more questions. Maybe we should field one or two more questions and go have a drink. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I got a couple more here. Marty Van Blair. I'm sorry I didn't get to your question earlier. How
dare you?
He was one of the first questions, but he's asking if any of you guys ever worked with Frank Farrell. He worked for Claire a long time ago. Kenny Rogers for about 25 years.
I think is he from Kansas City?
I would have to ask. If you're still in here, Marty,
chime in.
I don't have a clue.
While we're waiting for his answer, I'll go ahead and go to the next one. CH, where did you go? You had a full name. Charlie Hernandez is asking if there's any climate that you guys could play a concert in that would make Jay wear long sleeves.
Or pants.
No, but his real question was, do you guys purposefully change things up to keep it interesting, or do you guys thrive on the repetition of the gig?
I like changing things up.
Mm-hmm.
Repetition breeds. You just fall into this bad line.
Complacency.
Yeah, complacency.
Complacency. Thank you. That's the word. And I'm trying to, once you, like Billy's shows, he calls out songs on the fly. You always have to pay attention to what he's talking about. And if he's going to skip a song, switch a song, whatever, you gotta, if you just lose your attention span for a second, you're going to swing and miss. Yeah. And you gotta, that's what I like about working with him, because it's always keeps you right on your toes, man.
Yeah, this show's not the time code. It's definitely can do anything. Yeah. So.
Exactly.
He's the ultimate jazz musician. He loves to be spontaneous and just throw shit out there, man. And a lot of times, like you said, I'll skip a song, and sometimes it might not get through the whole band, and then maybe Mark and I will get it, and Tommy won't. But it all comes together, and then I'll yell at Jay. I'm like, oh, we're skipping. She's always a woman. And then I hear everybody on microphone, on in-ears going all back. And it's like this cluster, but as soon as the downbeat happens, everybody, the whole organization, it's like,
locks right in.
Right? It's like, oh my God.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
But it's very cool. I like that. I really like that. Love that.
Awesome. Let's see. We had another one in here asking if you guys, I'm sorry I can't find the name right now, but do you guys use any white or pink noise anymore?
Yeah, we still pink the system and do a component check with it and kind of see what it looks like on Smart.
For some of the tunes. For some of the
time.
I'm sorry.
Time aligning.
Yep, time alignment.
I mean, yeah, we do.
Okay. So, for some of the younger people in here, could you guys maybe describe what those are? What white or pink noise is? What that means?
Oh, really? You're gonna make me define which one's full, all frequencies at even amplitude, and then the other one's a variation of how you actually hear it.
Okay.
There's a definition of one's all of them at the same time
for white or pink noise.
Mm-hmm.
But
white noise is what you hear on the TV. Pink noise is what we play.
There you go.
There you go.
But yes, we still use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we had a question about the use of plugins. Do you guys use a lot of plugins during the shows? And if so, what are some of your favorites?
Not many on the monitor end, and
I have very few. I mostly use this delay, and I can't remember the name of it.
It's not the broadcasty one, is it?
It's that orange guy, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, the only one that you've got up all day.
Yeah, the one I have all the time up.
You can ask Rich next week.
Yeah.
All right, a note. Yeah, delay plugins. Okay.
I know Jay Vicari was SNL. You go into the control room. He's got the same delays. He uses like 6 of them. I see him on the screen. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's a great plug-in, and I can't remember the exact name of it right now. Shit. See,
most of
we've been off the road for so long. I'm like, I'm afraid to go hit the board. I'm gonna need rehearsal.
I think we all do, brother.
I don't do it.
Do Do you use a lot of plugins, or do you have a lot of onboard gear too? That's
I still use external stuff.
yeah. The
Um,
verbs. I remember you
analog
had a
stuff.
verb. What's the verb that you use all the time? It's not a
It's an
plugin.
M5000, a
There it is.
TC, yeah, TC
TC,
Electronics.
yeah.
I use,
That thing
a
sounds
couple
great.
of those. Yeah,
On
they
Billy's
sound really
voices.
good.
On vocals, you use them a lot, right?
Yeah, I use that on vocals, and I also have my own little tricks that I use. Still use a PCM 70 outboard that I put in for vocals to make them really thick and wide.
There's your lesson.
Give away my
boys
trick.
and girls. There's your lesson, boys and girls. It's coming out. I knew I could get it out of him. No, this is great.
And I put all these different delays in it.
Yeah.
What's your trick on Say Goodbye to Hollywood?
Oh man.
What,
like
delay on his vocal?
No, you said like a big drum.
Oh, that's
reverb
just a
sound.
big verb.
Yeah.
I just open the verb. I just make that a hot verb.
On the TC?
Like 3.5, 4 seconds or millisecond or whatever.
Milliseconds, yeah.
Yeah, to make it just big and wide.
Nice.
And a delay. So you add the two together and it makes it huge. It makes it that wall of sound, from
Yeah.
There's your lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we don't do that too often. And you pulled it up, and Rich like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
It's such a
he
big
freaks
sound.
out when I get into effects. Sometimes he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm mixing." Gets a little freaked out about if I get too heavy with effects, and I go,
Yeah.
"Now sometimes I have to do that. That's the way the song is.
Oh, yeah.
You got to make it big sometimes."
Yeah, it's got the Ronette sound, the wall of sound.
The wall of sound, man.
A lot of old, new school guys don't understand that though. That's funny, and the dichotomy. I love Rich and Jay, but the new school guys have the plugins and don't have the. I don't know if it's the feel of it, but I notice when I go into recording studios, either the new school guys are very hesitant about I want the lay and verb, and they're like, huh? And the old school guys are like, yeah, let's go, and they mix the shit out of it.
Also, I noticed the new school guys or some guys get heavy with compression.
Oh, don't get me started.
And I can't stand that. I like it to breathe, man. I want it big. Breathe. You can use a little bit, but don't. Some guys, that's how they mix.
Yeah.
They squash everything, so it's they let the machines mix.
Yeah.
It's not right. No.
Here.
You gotta use your ears and let it breathe. Let it go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, you're getting
High pass filter and low pass filter are your friends.
This is the master class that Full Sail's missing out on.
Yeah, well,
And I'm bringing you there myself, and I'm gonna drag it out of your ass. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. Jay's gonna come.
you're gonna have nothing next week now.
Let's go! Come on!
Oh God, that's all right. I'll get with Rich on the effects because I know he freaks him out. He's probably listening. I know he's going, "Oh, BR."
I got a couple more here in the chat that'll go pretty quickly, and then I'll close up the chat.
Okay.
But let's see. We have a former teacher in here asking, copper snake, fiber, cat 5, or all?
Oh.
See, I told you to be
Redundant's my
quick.
favorite thing.
See, it was fast.
This was answered.
That was a quick question. I mean, yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you can use it, use it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Somebody that I know is looking forward to getting back to the garden soon again. Mr. Andy Sashan is hanging with us in the chat.
That's a good boy.
There you go. How you doing,
Hey.
Andrew?
You watched the Masters yesterday? I know BR did. I know Andy.
Hell yeah.
2 days ago.
There you
I know
go.
we-
Yeah.
Yep, the golfing guys. And he's a great golfer like BR. So good to see you on here, Andy. Thanks, brother. We'll have you back here soon. We'll
Yeah.
talk about good things.
How you
Actually,
doing,
let's talk
Andrew?
about-
How's the family and everything?
let's talk about Andy for a second. The Ampeg vibe. Remember when he had the Ampeg amp and the head, and he still does. I know you use some of that, the Ampeg sound, and you have such a great bass sound. I know you craft that, and every instrument, I have to say, man, that you mix has its own thing. Again, do you get that from prior to what the original recording had, or you kind of look at it? Oh, hello. Or you kind of look at something. Tom has a call coming in. It's Andy.
It's Andy.
No, I mean, how do you approach that? Obviously there's been multiple bass players. Andy's been here, over 20. How do you approach different sounds and tubes, or do you?
I have to, yes, because he uses different basses for different songs. And each bass, he tries to get them as close as possible, but they do have different sounds. I mean, his P basses, his Fender basses have a growl to them. Which is great. And he also has the help me, Andy.
No, it's the Brooklyn bass. No. The jazz bass. He has a precision.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a warmer sounding bass. But
Warwick?
I mean, he has different.
Warwick?
Yeah, Warwick. That's
Warwick.
it.
Yep.
And
Warwick.
then, it's something I have to pay attention to because there are different sounds for different songs and different keys.
Yeah.
So the key changes affect the sound as well.
Okay. Brighter, darker, would you say?
Yeah. So it's always it's something I have to really pay attention to all the time. Whereas I know when we worked with Elton and
Davy Johnson.
No, what was the bass player?
Bob Birch. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. Yeah. Oh man.
He would play the same bass all night.
Yep.
And it would sound exactly the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is okay, but it's
Sure.
nice to have a little, different sound to the bass and
Spice in the sauce,
or a punch, or this, or
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that. But it's something I have to work on all the time. Yeah.
Andy says Fodera.
Federa.
Is that how
The
it's
Brooklyn
pronounced?
Federa, yeah, Federa in Brooklyn. Great bass company. He's endorsed and plays, but he was playing Warwick before that. Maybe he's not playing.
Oh, I guess it was. Maybe it is Federa. Yeah.
It's Federa, yeah.
I thought he had the Warwick for a while.
You did before the Federa, I believe.
Or compromise is something he also mentioned in the chat.
Oh, cool.
So he says he has a 720 tea time, so we need to hurry this thing up.
That's late for him.
Yeah, he's getting up late tomorrow.
Yeah, he's usually on the first tee at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen for us.
Not for me. Huh?
Well, thanks for Andy for stopping by.
Yeah. How you doing, Andy? Hope everybody's fine, the family and everybody. All the best.
I think with that, I'm gonna say thank you to the chat, and I think we kind of hit all the questions that were in here. We still have more people now than we started with, so that's a good thing. But thank you guys to everybody that submitted questions in the chat, and Carl, I know you usually have a couple in your pocket, so I'll turn it back to you, bud.
Cool. Well, thanks, Stephen. Yeah, man. So we had a great time tonight, and we appreciate everybody hanging with us. And next week it's a BR Part 2. Unfortunately, we have to take a week off because we got to gather ourselves and get everything back together for next week, but we're looking forward to it. And we thank Jay and Tom Duds Forge for hanging with us. And we're going to have a new cast of Claire Brothers and
the rest of my crew next week. And yeah,
it'll be wonderful. And
it'll be interesting.
Yep. I already have 5 questions that stemmed from tonight's show that I'm going to pass on to next week. But I always like to kind of throw out a couple things. I'm going to start with Jay, and then Tom and Brian can have the last word. So Jay, man, thanks for coming, and I appreciate you hanging, and I know you're busy, and you have a beautiful, your kid's smoking and drinking now. He's 2 years old, right? Is he 2?
3.5, yeah.
3.5, Jesus.
3.5 going
I lost
on
a
30.
year again. I always, he's not drinking, but you know, he's wearing pants though, right? He's not like you
That
wearing
is true.
shorts.
He wears pants. No.
I'm kidding you, man. No, honestly, bro, it means a lot to me and BR and everybody that you came. What are you looking forward to in the future, my man? What's in the near future, right off the top of your head? What do you have in your head coming up, man?
Looking forward to summer and getting back to work. So just passing the time. Gonna spend a little time at the cabin, time around the house, keep playing, stay-at-home dad and having fun. So, but I'm looking forward to that first gig.
It's great that you had that year with your son.
It is very, very, that is a silver lining to this whole thing, was that getting to hang out with him nonstop for a year has been really cool.
He's a pisser too, man. The pictures you see.
That is true.
My God. What a pisser that kid is. You're doing a good job, man. Well, cool. Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see you, man. And thanks for coming and enlightening everybody and hanging with us, brother.
Yeah, man, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Duds, same question.
Yes.
What are you looking for? What are you looking forward to in Pennsylvania or out of Pennsylvania? You and your beautiful woman there, and she's busy. She's flying again.
Yeah, she just called. I'm sorry about that. If
That's all right. Tell her hello. We love her, man.
Just landed at BWI. So
Good.
But yeah, we just we got this 18th century farmhouse, and it just constantly working on that, and but I'm blessed. My kids are all out of college now, and so yeah, just waiting to get back on the road here.
Yeah, man.
But, waiting it out like everybody else.
Wow.
Crazy times.
Crazy times, but we'll get through it. And I'm sure that house, you got plenty of work to do. It's gorgeous. I mean, the brickwork alone and the wood, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
we like it.
Yeah, it's making my hands hurt looking at it because I know that's a thing of love, bro. God bless you. Tom, you always make us laugh, and thank you for being here. We love you, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Carl, and it's been a pleasure working with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. It's been the best 7 years of my career, almost 8.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a true family. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we miss you, bro. Likewise. Thank you.
Yeah.
And BR, of course, we'll see you next week. But, man, talk about this week, BR. What are you looking forward to, man? You getting up playing golf? What's going on?
I can't play golf.
No?
Because I had a little knee surgery recently.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, no, nothing heavy. It's cool.
Oh, look at that leg, man. It's moving. It's like a chicken leg.
I had it scoped. I had a torn, two tears in my meniscus. And
oh, shoot.
I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did. And so I haven't played in a little bit. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to I don't know what the hell I'm looking forward to. Just life, man. I love life.
Yeah, I know you do.
And I can't wait to get back and see these guys and to hug all you guys and to just get back to work and get back into that grind because it's just too much fun. It's
Sydney still looking at law school, or?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, God bless her. Sid, I love you. She's graduating in May from Syracuse University. And she got accepted to she got accepted to one law school already. She put in her application. She's waiting to get the schools she wants, but hasn't heard back yet. But yeah, she's going forward with the law school thing, and God bless her. I mean, that's great. I mean, I'm proud. Like I said, I'm proud of both my girls. They've done well with life. They're doing well. They both have good boyfriends, and they're just good girls, man.
Good. So we don't have to beat the boyfriends up. They're okay.
Well, no, I don't want. Nah.
All right, they're good. All right, so we'll be good.
As long as they're happy and
You're happy.
They're all, and the boyfriend's a good kid. So
Good.
I say kids because I'm getting so damn old.
You raised them right.
Yeah, looking forward to it again. Can't wait to see everybody.
Likewise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful, BR. Well, we'll see you next week with another cast of your characters and sound.
Yeah.
And, thank you guys for being here, and Steven, thanks for putting us in good sound and lighting and video world. You're the best.
Yeah, and
Thanks, David.
yeah, man, it was good to see you guys. I appreciate your time. And really quickly, Carl, I want to mention we had a couple very generous donations that came across during the stream. So thank you guys for those. It's definitely appreciated. We're
going out. We're going out right now. We're going to have a drink, all of us. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, through the stream.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to call that out, and a couple of those people do so frequently. So it is much appreciated. So with that, I definitely will. I'll be quiet on my end. Thank you guys for being here, and see you.
Thank you, and it's great to see everybody. It's great to see my boys, and
Yeah, good to see you, BR.
Good seeing you guys. Yeah,
it's
thanks,
great
Steven.
to see you guys. And
Guys are the best.
All the best. All the best.
Swordfish, love you guys.
Gotcha.
Go eat some swordfish. We're gonna have swordfish drinks.
All right, bro.
Good night.
Mr. Carl Fischer.